Race. It's a way we define ourselves and each other.
Caucasian.
I'm African American.
Asian.
It's an item on questionnaires, right along with sex and age. But what exactly is race? And what makes us one race or another?
The concept of race, in some sense, whether we like it or not, has been used in the most recent human history to separate groups.
But Wayne State anthropologist Dr. Jacqueline Harden says, biologically, we are all the same race.
It doesn't exist in a biological, scientific sense because race technically means species.
I'm human. How about that? I'm human.
But Dr. Harden says, when it comes to social and cultural matters, race definitely does exist.
Because we still know if someone looks a certain way or behaves a certain way or speaks a certain way, people are learned to say, aha, this is what that person is.
Dr. Harden has an exercise she does in class. She shows students a picture of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. Then she shows them a pic of Eminem.
And I say, okay, who's the real black person? And they're like, well, Eminem is. You know, black students will say it, white students will say it. And I'm like, well, why?
The reason, in part, is that many of the students are from Detroit. Dr. Harden says, compared to people in most other places, race is viewed a bit differently by Metro Detroiters.
It means so much to them, but they don't even want to talk about it. You can feel it, it's in the air, but because there's so much tension around it, that anytime anyone even remotely mentions it, it becomes a big deal.
In the days ahead, we'll have suggestions for ways to start a conversation on race. But first, let's find out how much we know about race. The American Anthropological Association has developed a race quiz. It's an online questionnaire testing our understanding of differences in people. One of the questions: can scientists determine a person's race by looking at his or her DNA?
No.
I think they can.
No.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
The answer is no. There is no gene for race. Scientists cannot pinpoint race by looking at DNA.
What they're doing is they're comparing segments of DNA to other groups of people in the world. And your DNA can resemble, but it's still scientifically, it's confusing, but scientifically race does not exist.
There are 9 other questions and explanations about the right answers. Then there's another quiz about sports and racial stereotypes.